Hey everybody, it's Rob and my buddy Cam here with First Friday's High-5. Today we have our very special guest, Tisha Strasser from the Bring It, Push It, Own It. She's the founder and CEO, and it's so good to have you with us, Tisha. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. I mean, I won't pretend that it's not snowing outside, but it is the beach behind me. So balance.
Yeah, you wake up to snow and it's, you're kind of like telling everybody it's all right. It's only today, and you just hope that it's only today, right?
It's still April. You got to kind of accept it. You have to.
Well, thank you so much for being with us and taking time out of your day. We got some questions we'd like to ask you, and we're going to start off with my brother Cam.
All right.
So, Tisha, thanks for coming along with us today on this journey. First question I have for you is, what quality trait do you think that all leaders should possess?
Oh my gosh. I would say, the first word that comes to me without even thinking about it is being authentic. So no matter what place they're in or how you're seeing them interact, you see the same person. So they don't have their business personality versus their personal personality versus their family. So being authentic all the way through is really important for me.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you. Okay, so second question is, what do you believe is one of the most important core values an organization should have?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. You want one?
You can throw a couple.
It's really scaled down. Well, obviously the authenticity, like everybody to be able to do a really good job and to be able to do your mission its full justice, you have to be authentic to that mission and what it is you're trying to do for people or what it is you're trying to represent as the vision. I think understanding everybody's weaknesses first, along with their strengths. So as a society, we look for strengths because that's what helps us get to where we're going. It's what helps us make things happen, right? But if you intertwine what we teach our kids, we always have them do a project and we say part of our organization is, I need you all to write down 2 of your weaknesses, 2 of your strengths. Then I need you to take it all and couple it together and tell me how you're going to be the best team I could ever hire. Because that's what makes everybody a whole, right? Because you're not perfect. You can't just have strengths. And if you do, nobody likes that person. That's not real. So being authentic and knowing who you are and being an organization that knows how to have that open communication about those things.
Awesome.
The real things.
Yeah. I like that, making the list, because it kind of plays into my next question that I have for you, which is, judging off this list, what are some of so during this time of quarantine, everyone's minds are going rapid, whether it's going at a speed of 1,000 miles a minute or rather going to speed at 2 miles an hour. You never know the spectrum. So my question
we're all different.
Yeah, so my question is for you, as a leader, how do you set a time, the appropriateness to allow your staff to vision cast, to vision themselves in different projects, to where they see themselves in the future? How do you allow that space and creativity to manifest in your workspace?
So I love that. So because I'm a small organization, I'm lucky because I don't have all these different layers and all these different rules and all the different things you're trying to do as a large company. So anybody that's part of my team, whether they're volunteers or interns or somebody we're lucky enough to be able to pay short term, they know that I'm very much looking for that. Like we put out the vibe that we want you to share. We want you to put out things that you get excited about. I ask people on my board and on my advisory committee, lay out some thoughts you have. What do you think of that? What are your ideas? What do you get excited about? What is it that you see? Because you cannot be a great organization, especially, as a nonprofit, a small one, it's really easy to just take your ideas and run with them. Because you can, but I think to be really great, you bring everybody together and give them the ability to dream with you so that you're all dreaming together. And then it's this big, beautiful dream that everybody gets excited about, right? Not just one person. You're like, where's everybody at? Well, you didn't bring them in, so they're not excited. So we just keep that open communication. People will call me, text me, email me. I get stuff like that all the time. So it's kind of an open door to that kind of mentality.
Absolutely. That's awesome, Tisha. Now, We've known each other for about a year, I think now, actually. And you're high energy, and we love that. It's an awesome part of you. I'll tell you, when you get older, it might not be as much. I'm just telling you from experience. I kind of feel like a little bit less energy, but but I keep trying to drive
I
it.
don't know. I think you're high energy. I think you're still high energy.
Okay, if you think I'm high energy,
I have a ways to go, don't I?
Yeah. You got a plenty ways to go. I'm the old man in this trio here. So, but with that being said, at the end of the day, you've dedicated your life to empowering and encouraging and inspiring our next generation to really be all that they can be. At the end of the day, you've got a husband, you've got a family. How do you decompress?
So, I mean, you can look at that a couple different ways. So what I do, my job actually, I mean, it feeds me. I never feel tired or defeated or worn out. And I mean, that's why I started actually doing this, my nonprofit full time 2 years ago, because I came to a point where it's like, I'm really good at everything I do. I'll give it my all. And at the end of the day, the question you need to ask yourself is, how do you feel at the end of the day? It's really important because we only get one life. So people are all the time like, aren't you overwhelmed? You're doing so much. Once again, small nonprofit. And I'm like, I'm overwhelmed, but in a good way. So I think it is about doing things that bring you joy, things that, I mean, I can tell you, I pick up my phone every day and I get a message and I'm like, what we're doing matters. Even right now, like it matters big time. And we're doing it virtually, but it matters. But I will tell you that for me, and this is what we instill in our next generation, is movement with meaning is very important. So exercise, and that means anything, any type of activity that gets your body moving for 30 minutes a day, to me, is a part of mental health. And my family knows that shall happen. And if it doesn't happen, they're like, hey, have you gotten to work out? So it's really important for me to do that.
That's awesome.
I love coffee, and I do love, I'd say, reading books, but it's probably more audible. So I love listening. I love feeding self-growth and development. So movement, coffee, time with my family, and growth. Like always trying to grow as a person, always what's next for me to be my best self, because you should never stop.
Yeah. Forever a student, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd be bored otherwise.
Right.
So, Tisha, I can't believe this is our final question, but as we're talking about self and mind, body, spirit, my last question I have for you is, if you could casually break bread with anyone, who are you picking?
If I could break bread with anyone?
Yep.
That you said, you cut out for a second.
Yes, if you could break bread with anyone.
I knew this was going to be a question. Oprah.
Oprah. Okay.
I know Ellen's right up there. Oprah or Ellen. Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah. She's just a powerhouse. She's a powerhouse, and she represents love and kindness and strength and intelligence, and that I admire that. She's warm. She's not judgmental. She looks at all sides of things. So I think that's something that I admire very much.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tisha, I just want to say thanks so much for hanging out with us today. I've really enjoyed it. Yes, I actually really enjoy the name of your business because it makes you want to get up and move and dance. So I really
right.
You
really gotta bring it, and then you gotta push it, and then you gotta own it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Own it. I just own it.
I was like, that's a good workout song right there.
It is.
That's right.
It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, we've got it.
Well, before we come to a close, let's go ahead and do a countdown, guys. So in 3, 2, 1, high five.
High five.
Yes.
Thanks, Tisha.
All right.